is October 2nd. We are on pages 10 and 11, and it's day 222 of the book club. This month, our book is called The Lost Library.
没错，我们今天呢继续介绍昨天介绍过的这个无人知晓的图书馆。我们昨天呢简单讲了一下这个故事内容，对不对？我们有提到那只橘猫把守这个新的这个图书馆的橘猫，好，叫做 Mortimer。然后呢，我们知道主角叫做 Evan。然后 Evan 呢，经过这个图书馆的时候借2本书，就发现了他这个镇上曾经有一个这个很大的公共图书馆，后来被烧毁了这样的秘密。然后他就拿这个书呢，问他老爸说：“哎，爸，你知不知道这本书在里面有讲的什么东西？”他爸爸突然露出一种我们不要再谈这个话题了，好像一副就是不想告诉他更多事情的感觉，这让他觉得有点疑惑。到后来他就开始跟他的好朋友Rave， 然后还有跟这个 L 另外一个幽灵图书馆员一起来挖出更多的秘密，拼凑出当时到底发生了什么事。那我们今天要介绍的主题呢，主要是在于这个作者的部分。
All right, let's hear the story, and we'll be right back.
The Lost Library. The Lost Library is the result of a partnership between two famous authors, Rebecca Stead and Wendy Mass. Before they first met at a writing conference over 15 years ago, they had read each other's work and admired one another's talent. Over time, they developed a close friendship and thought that it would be fun to write a book together. In fact, The Lost Library is the second book co-written by Stead and Mass. When writing their first book, Bob, they used a creative approach. One of them would write a chapter and then send it to the other to continue the story. This back and forth often led to surprising and delightful twists. However, The Lost Library took a different path. The idea for the book began with the images of a mysterious little library. Before they started writing, they had a lot of discussions and planned the story carefully. They wanted it to be a fun mystery that combined elements from different genres. Their goal wasn't just to tell a mysterious story. They hoped to show readers the powerful role that books play in our lives and how they shape who we become. With topics of friendship, memory, and truth, The Lost Library is an unforgettable tale that all readers can relate to.
All right, friends. So before we begin, I have a little note and I have a question for you and Mr. Anthony. So first of all, the Lost Library has an adjective. Lost is the adjective, okay? The verb is to lose, L-O-S-E. And, you know, students, they always say lose because, O, 然后字幕，然后 E, 这个应该是长 O 的, right? Well, no, this is lose, 那个双 O, like the moon. Please write down L-O-S-E. This is a very easy verb to say incorrectly. Right, lose, and then O-O, so we remember how to say it.
没错，所以这里要特别注意一下，这个 lost 它是形容词或是 VPP， 它的这个原版的这个动词呢是 lose， 要特别注意 L-O-S-E 的 S 是发 Z 的声音，然后 O 的部分不是念 O， 是念
Like the moon.
Like a moon, lose， 要特别小心这个小地方。
Now, the Lost Library, we know Evan goes and borrows 2 books. When you were a little kid and you went to the library, did you always borrow a lot of different books? Or did you like to borrow, maybe sometimes like borrow the same book over and over and over again?
I think I usually read my favorite book several times.
Okay. So do you remember what that book was?
那本书其实是好像是汉声小百科。
Okay. Just like an encyclopedia.
Yeah, like an encyclopedia.
So I used to do something similar. I would get 2 or 3 books, and there was this book that was about bees, and I just thought it was so cute. I loved it, and I always got the bee book and like another book. So my question for you is, when you were a little kid and you went to the library, did you always get different books or did you borrow the same book like 100 times?
所以老师的问题就是说，今天你小的时候啊，或者你现在你到了图书馆里面，你到底是一次借呢，是借不同类型的书籍回家看呢，还是说今天你一个主题，然后疯狂的借，或是一本书疯狂的借，然后一直看，一直反复的去看呢？你喜欢的阅读习惯是什么？
Yeah, let us know. Talk with your friends. I still can see the big fat bee on the cover of this book. He's so fat.
OK 喜欢胖蜜蜂。
All right. The Lost Library is the result of a partnership between two famous authors, Rebecca Stead and Wendy Mass.
好，我们来看一下第一句话哦。他说 The Lost Library is the result of a partnership. 好，我们先看一下 result 就是结果，而 the result of a partnership 就是指说两个人合作的成果，谁呢？Between two famous authors， 好，有两个非常非常知名的作家。第一个呢是 Rebecca Stead， 跟第二个是 Wendy Mass。好，这两个人他们合作起来写的一本书。
You're right. Pay attention to the word famous. 我们有 OUS. We know that's an adjective, like yesterday's mysterious. 那个 OUS means it's an adjective. So partnership ends in SHIP. Underline that. You know this is a noun. All right, let's go to our next sentence. Before they first met at a writing conference over 15 years ago, they had read each other's work and admired one another's talent.
好，我们来看一下这句话，他说 Before they first met at a writing conference. 好，他以前在他们这个之前，他们15年前的时候是在这个 writing conference， 就是这种写作会议上面碰面。可是在他们碰面之前呢 ，they had read each other's work.And admired one another's talent. 好，也就是说，在他们碰面之前就有彼此读过彼此的作品了。比方说，今天我跟他两个人都彼此先读过这个彼此作品，哇，这作家太厉害了吧，好可爱，好酷哦。然后呢，在某一次的这个写作会议上，终于碰到面了，这样的感觉。所以在这个地方你会看到一个 they had read， 这个是 past perfect tense， 就是过去完成式。什么时候会使用过去完成式呢？就是指说今天这个事件，他们在15年前碰面之前，你看这个15年前这个事情是已经在过去了嘛？那我要讲到比过去更过去的事件的时候，我们就会使用过去完成式。我在这个跟他碰面之前，我早就跟他讲过电话了，类似像那样的感觉，就会使用到过去完成式哦。
Very nice. Look at the word conference. We don't really say conference. 那个 ER, underline it and draw a little X. So you don't say conference like comfortable. It's conference. And a conference is a big meeting, usually for a few days, and everybody has like a shared interest. They're all writers, or they all want to be YouTubers, or whatever.
没错，所以在这里的话，老师就提到 conference 就是指那种大会。很多时候，他这些大会里面可能齐聚了非常非常多有相同的兴趣的人。你可以说 they have a shared interest， 好，就是有那种共同兴趣的人。然后呢，彼此之间呢，他们两个人都读过彼此的作品，然后非常非常喜欢 admired， 好，就是指非常欣赏 one another's talent， 彼此的才华。
That's right. Admired means you respect it.And your talent is just your skill, S-K-I-L-L. Over time, they developed a close friendship and thought it would be fun to write a book together. And here's the second time we see S-H-I-P. In our first sentence, we said partnership, and now we have friendship, and they are both nouns. Underline S-H-I-P.
没错 ，S-H-I-P 这个字根的话，常常是用在名词，而且是用在抽象的名词比较多哦。所以在这边我看到这句话说 ，over time， 好，就是指经过这个时间慢慢过去呢 ，they developed a close friendship， 好，他们开始有了深厚的友谊 ，and thought that it would be fun to write a book together。好，如果可以的话，一起来写一本书吧，这样一定超酷的啦。
Right? Wonderful. Great. And honestly, I thought of you when I was reading this. I was like, this is like me and Anthony, except he's a better writer than I am. All right. Let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we got paragraph 2. Hey, friends. Welcome back to Enjoy English School. We're starting paragraph 2 on pages 10 and 11, and we're talking about the lost library. Okay, so paragraph 1, we have our two authors, and they form a partnership and a close friendship, and they said, let's write a book together. In fact, The Lost Library is the second book co-written by Stead and Mass.
好，第二段告诉你说，其实上是他们第一次合作吗？可不是哦。In fact， 就是事实上呢，《The Lost Library》这本书呢 is the second book co-written by Stead and Mass。这是他们合作的第二本书啦。
Can you think of any other novel, a mystery novel written by two people? I
can't.
Maybe a science book or an interview that two people, right? An autobiography, but a novel written by two people?
I can't imagine that.
It sounds tough, right? Oh, okay. So did you translate this?
好
All right, go.
Yeah. 所以的话，这是第二本书，他们合作了，它可以代表它前面还有另外一本书哦。
Okay. When writing their first book, Bob, they used a creative approach. So approach usually means you get closer to something. Maybe you approach the king. This is not very fast. This is you're carefully going closer to a place. Or you approach the new city. This here means a style. So they used a very creative style to write their first book, Bob.
没错。所以你看到这边这个字 approach， 日常生活中你会看到 approach 的情况是，可能你搭捷运的时候 ，the train is approaching。
perfect。
没错。这个列车即将进站，它就是用 approaching 靠近这个字。但在这个地方 approach 它不是动词，它是名词，它的用法呢，意思是方法、方式 ，like a method。好，这个 approach 这个字的话，他说 when writing their first book， 他们在写第一本合著的书的时候呢，这个书的名字叫做 Bob， 叫小宝，好可爱的名字哦。They used a creative approach， 他们用了非常很有创意的方式来创作哦。
Okay, underline approach. In our next paragraph, we'll see the word path. Oh, all right, ready? Approach. APP 加 roach. The roach approached me. In Taiwan 会这样子
Oh no!
Right? In Taiwan 会这样子
没错
They run at you.
对啊，没错。那个老师刚刚讲那个
Don't translate it.
就是蟑螂有没有 ？roach, cockroach 啊，它慢慢靠近我。
That's what they do in Taiwan.
Yeah,
that
that's
scared
true,
me the
that's
first time.
true, that's
okay.
true.
All right. They want to give you a hug.
没错。
One of them would write a chapter and then send it to the other to continue the story.
Oh, like a story relay, right?
Yeah, but do those ever make actually really good stories? Right? They're just kind of funny and creative, but are those good stories?
没错。所以在这边的话，我们来看一下，说 one of them would write a chapter。好，其中一个人呢，先写了一章。And then send it to the other， 好，就交给另外一个这个作家，也就是他这另外一个人 to continue the story。所以我刚刚讲说 like a story relay， 有点像是故事接龙的概念。然后老师讲说，对啊，这故事接龙通常只是好玩，可是这样能写出个好故事吗？所以其实很多时候用这种有创意 a creative approach， 其实上要两个人很有默契才能写出好故事。
That's right. This back and forth often led to surprising and delightful twists. So a twist so twist means to go like this, like with a towel or a piece of paper, maybe your leg if you play sports and you have an accident. But a twist in a story means a surprise change.
没错 ，a plot twist 就是那种剧情的那种转折，有没有？所以在这边这个地方呢，他说 this back and forth 这种来来回回的这种故事接龙的方式呢 ，often led to surprising and delightful twists。好，这边很多时候会导致什么结果呢？就是那种又惊又喜的转折。哦，原来你会这样转啊！那我来想想看有没有更厉害的这种做法，让这个故事变得更有创意等等。这个 twist 就是那种转折的感觉。
And there's less planning because you have to react to what the other person wrote. Anthony, this book sounds like us, right? So we have this close partnership and friendship, and we're going to write a book. Anthony's like, okay, so there's this mysterious library, and this boy borrows 2 books, and then you give it to me, and I'm like, and there's a cat, and the cat protects it, and I give it back to you, and you're like, okay, so Rafe, and there's a ghost librarian. I'm like, and then the cat can talk. And all this stupid stuff comes your way. That's what
I really want to read this book.
That's what it sounds like. This is our book.
Yeah, this is our book. Definitely.
Okay, so I have a question for you. What is the best surprise twist from like a movie or a book that you can remember?
Definitely The Sixth Sense.
Dude, that's what I thought of too.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you haven't seen The Sixth Sense, you have to be a little older. It is a scary movie. But that has like the all-time great twist ending.
中文叫《灵异第六感》。好，这个是 Bruce Willis 好布鲁斯威利演的一部作品。有机会的话，千万不要让任何人爆你的雷，你自己先去看这部片，然后看到最后你会很讶异说，原来是这样啊。
That's right. And then after the second time you watch the movie, it's a brand new movie.
Yeah.
Really interesting. Oh, so funny you said that. Okay,
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we got paragraph 3. Hey friends, welcome back to Enjoy English School. We're on the Lost Library. It's October 2nd, and we're having a little spooky holiday fun for Halloween. However, the Lost Library took a different path. Okay, so before the break, we talked about the book Bob, and they used this creative approach. One author writes one chapter, and then the other author writes a second chapter. With the Lost Library, they took a different path. They took a different approach.
没错，在这里的话呢，你会回想起来上一段我们提到什么？They used a creative approach. 在这边 approach 的话，意思是 method 方法的意思。在这边的话呢，他说 however 然而呢 ，the Lost Library took a different path. 好，这个 path 本来是道路的意思，在这边也是用了一个不同的方法的意思。在这次他们共同合著这本书的话，他们不像上次写小宝一样，你写一张我写一张。这次呢，他们可能换了一种别的方式来合作。
That's right. Pick up your blue pen and write approach here. How do you spell approach? APP Roach. Write it down, Shishalai. I know you're thinking it. The idea for the book began with the image of a mysterious little library.
好，接下来这句话说 the idea for the book. 好，这本书的构想呢，好 began with 就是从什么时候开始 ？began with the image of a mysterious little library 是一个小小的神秘的这种图书馆的形象开始慢慢展开的。
Before they started writing, they had a lot of discussions and planned the story carefully.
没错，所以在这里的话呢，因为这里面书里面可能包含很多种元素，一定要先讲好说，我们大概要怎么走，不然说我写一张，你写一张，the cat can talk.
That's me. The more we're talking.
刚刚没有办法这样子玩，对不对？所以他就说了 ，before they started writing， 在他们开始写作之前呢 ，they had a lot of discussions， 他们有经过很多的讨论。And plan the story carefully. 很小心仔细的呢去策划这个故事的内容。
Now, we could say before they started to write. That's fine. When we say started writing, this usually means like this is a long process and it won't be easy. It feels longer than started to write.
所以在这里的话，你可以用 started to write 也可以，但是 started writing 感觉上听起来就是一个很长的过程。
That's right. Here we go. Next, they wanted it to be a fun mystery that combined elements from different genres.
这边这里面有两个字，第一个字是 combined 就是 put 什么什么东西 together 的意思，就是想办法去组装或者是融合的意思。然后另外第二个，老师刚刚讲的 genres， 好 genres 的话就是 different kinds， 各式各样不同的这种类别。提到 genres， 我会想到 books， 想到 movies， 提到电影啦、书籍啦，都有不同的类型
Music.
romance, sci-fi。thrillers 好，这种东西的话都是不同的 genres 类型，所以整句话呢，它的意思就是说呢 ，they wanted to be a fun mystery， 他们希望这本书成为一个有趣的这种推理故事 that combined elements from different genres， 里面呢也融合了不同的这种类型它的元素存在。
Boy, there's a lot of good pronunciation in this paragraph. So let's see. We have discussions. 这个 ss 发 sh， 写下来。And then planned， 因为这个是重音，那个 ed 要发低，那个 ed 发低，写下来。They wanted it to be a fun mystery， 因为这个是 t 还是 d 的结尾，那个 ed 会发 id。Wanted like start, started, or end, ended. Combined， 这个也有 n 在 ed 前面 ，so just like planned， 这个也有 d 写下来。And then we have genres, which is like sh 的发音，然后你喉咙要震动。This is a great paragraph to listen carefully and practice your pronunciation.
没错，这里面有非常非常多很好可以拿来练习发音的材料。老师刚刚提到像 planned、combined， 好，这是 ed 加发那个的这个声音。那如果说今天你说 ed 呢，还有什么别的发音？你看到 they wanted， 好，这些字的话就是可以特别把它放在一起，把它练习一下，以后你的发音就会变得特别的漂亮。
Yeah, really. This is a great paragraph to listen and practice, and people with great pronunciation.This is a great one to get even better. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we have our final paragraph. Hey friends, welcome back to Enjoy English School. We're on pages 10 and 11. Let's finish The Lost Library. Their goal wasn't just to tell a mysterious story. They hoped to show readers the powerful role that books play in our lives and how they shape who we become.
好，我们来看这一段里头的这个前两句话哦。好，第一句话告诉你说 their goal 就是目标。他们这两个共同创作的作者，他们有什么共同目标呢？ Wasn't just to tell a mysterious story， 不只是要讲一个哇好神秘的故事，然后放在10月来讲刚刚好，对不对They hoped， 好，他们希望to show readers the powerful role that books play in our lives and how they shape who we become. 好像很希望能够怎么样，让读者实际的感受到，去看到 to show readers something. What is that thing? The powerful role. 这是书本在我们生活当中、生命里面所扮演的这种重要的角色。还有什么呢 ？And how they shape who we become. 它能够形塑我们生命的道路。它这样的事情，它要呈现给读者。
All right, in paragraph 1, I said famous ends in O-U-S, and that means it's an adjective, just like this word mysterious. Underline O-U-S, right? A-D-J, adjective here. They hoped. So in the second paragraph, we saw planned and wanted. 这个是 hoped, because P 是无发音的，啪啪啪。So 这个 ED 也要无发音的，ta ta ta。写下来 t，
对，无声配无声的嘛，所以 p 好，无声的 p， 现在无声的 t hoped， 但有声的planned， 好 combined， 它就要有的声音。
With topics of friendship, memory, and truth, The Lost Library is an unforgettable tale that all readers can relate to.
最后这句话告诉你说 with topics of friendship, memory, and truth. 好，这个本身的主题呢，包含了友情啊、记忆啊，还有真相。好，这些东西我们都很有兴趣的嘛。The Lost Library is an unforgettable tale. 这个地方特别注意一下 ，unforgettable， 它的这个 forget 后面的 t 要再重复字尾一个 t， 再加 able。这个地方是大部分人在拼的时候特别要注意的。Unforgettable 是 double T， 然后它这个地方它讲到 unforgettable tale that all readers can relate to。这个 relate to 的意思就是产生共鸣的意思，是所有读者都能产生共鸣的一个难忘的故事。
I'm so happy you talk about the double T here because recently I've been really thinking about how to teach 那个双字幕 myself, right? And so we should know that 我们通常看到双字幕的时候 TT or 两个 P or 两个 G 的话 that means we have CVC 我们有一个字幕短母音还有另外一个字幕 and 因为我们后面要加一个 ER 还是 ING 的话 we need two 那个双字幕 but how do we read that and what does this mean? Well, usually in English 有意外第一个 T 前面的母音一定要短的 so unforgettable. And 那个第二个 T 会下一个音节要加强这个 T. So you say unforgettable. 不是 unforgettable. That's wrong. So 那个两个 T you draw a line. 前面应该是短母音有意外 and then 下一个音节另外一个 T. Unforgettable.
unforgettable。很多时候在这种短母音，然后要重复字尾的情况呢，老师有提到说，这个前面的这个当 forget get 的声音，这个是短母音的声音啊。虽然有例外，但大部分的情况都是这样，你不妨可以把它记下来做一个参考。
That's right. Think of the animal rabbit. R-A-B-B-I-T. Ra, 短 A, and then bit. 不是 rab it. Rabbit.
Rabbit.
All right. Wonderful. And there you have it. We're all done for today. So we hope you had a great story. We hope you had a great time. And don't forget to practice your listening for Enjoy English School. I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Anthony.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.